Traditional seed is the backbone of food and nutrition for African communities. And for the millions of Zimbabwean smallholder farmers and their families, their lives and livelihoods revolve around diverse traditional seed. One of the traditional varieties that has been the pillar of local communities across the country is finger millet. Although classified as a small grain, finger millet is in fact one of the major traditional crops that has sustained millions of Zimbabweans since time immemorial, offering various nutritional, economic, health, social and cultural benefits to households and communities.
Finger millet have got a number of benefits in Zimbabwe. The first one is biblical. It's mentioned as a good food. Then when we are growing finger millet, in terms of production, we don't need a lot of external inputs like fertilizers. We can grow finger millet without a lot of fertilizers, or we can grow it with the organic manure. And then you also don't need to have seed every year. So it means we are also saving on the inputs. And it also promotes sovereignty. And then the other big advantage of finger millet, it's storage quality. It's not affected by weevils, it's not affected by rodents. So this one can be a very important strategic grain reserve for Zimbabwe. Then the other major advantage of finger millet, it's nutritional qualities. It's very high in iron and it's very high in calcium. And you know that iron require it for blood formation, and also calcium we require it for bone formation. And the calcium and iron is very good at early stage for when children are being weaned at 6 months, and then it's also very good for, I can actually say for the whole family, but particularly even in the old age where people need calcium for bone formation so that they've got a strong bones. So the issue of the storage that I was talking about, you can actually store it for about 30 years, finger millet, so we don't need chemicals.
Finger millet can be enjoyed in many other ways. One can make sadza, porridge, beer, or a sweet non-alcoholic drink locally known as maheu. It can also be combined with other ingredients to make numerous other nutritious and tasty foods such as snacks, cookies and bread, among others.
Other than producing the grain for mealie meal, there's a lot of scope for value addition, incorporating it into the day-to-day diet in different ways. You know, that's the kind of information that we're trying to see what innovations there are, and not only on the aspect of the diet, but just the innovations around the cropping itself, like he was saying. So, you know, it's like in Asia, it's one of their staple crops, and they're producing the flour, they're producing biscuits, they're producing instant porridge, they're producing the popcorn, you know, the health bars, and we don't have any of that on our shelves locally, without even thinking of export markets. So it's just trying to see what can be done in that area.
Today, smallholder farmers in Zimbabwe struggle to access, utilize and freely trade finger millet. One of the chief causes of this is inadequate investment in the finger millet value chain, which has caused its neglect and abandonment despite its economic and social value, particularly in culture, health and nutrition. Through the support of members of the Participatory Ecological Land Use Management Zimbabwe network, such as Osha Wholesome Foods, the Chinyika community and many others, smallholder farmers across the country are reviving finger millet production and food using agroecological principles. These agroecological principles are founded on the sustainable practices and way of life of indigenous communities as they are related with land, vegetation, and other elements of the ecosystem. Indigenous communities employed a systems approach that ensured regeneration and mutual benefit for all ecosystem components.
Today I enjoyed learning, I think mostly how to plant, because that's what I came to learn. A friend referred me to this training, and we've been discussing about what to grow this season, and what we've been sharing, and mostly what she's been sharing and mentoring me about small grain, about kuti zviyo is grain isingadyiwe neshiri kana iri mumunda. It's something you can grow without a lot of application of fertilizers and with no chemicals. So that's what I'm looking at, to grow something that's organic, number one, and to grow something that doesn't cost a lot in terms of maintenance.
This knowledge is slowly being lost because the elders are going with their wisdom, leaving the younger generation exposed to numerous non-communicable diseases, most of which can be avoided, managed, and even cured through traditional foods such as finger millet.
Our inter-row spacing will be now 45 centimeters. So this is 30 and 15 here. So it means our next line will be 45 centimeters. So our inter-row spacing, this is the 45 centimeters we're talking about. Then again, Patronos Zokina, when we talk about it, they are 15. So for direct planting, we are starting with the first method, the direct planting, which is during this time. So we put 1 tablespoon, then we mix the river sand. Let me show you the so what we do is take 1 cup kg, because the acid is very small. That's why we are mixing. For people that suffer from diabetes or obese, because of its high raffinate content, it releases sugar slowly into the bloodstream. So those are the biggest advantages of why we are talking of finger millet and why we want to encourage consumption of finger millet in our country.
Present projections point to a 25 to 90% increase in undernutrition in sub-Saharan Africa if global temperatures increase by 1.2 to 1.7 degrees Celsius by the year 2050. A shift in the way we view and understand traditional seed and food is critical for the health and future of Zimbabwe. Supporting the value chain of finger millet and other traditional varieties will stimulate production and consumption, which will enhance the health and nutrition of our country. Let us all come together from every field, kitchen, plate, and office. The health of our nation is at stake.